Jay and I are going to show you sequencing of motion in your golf swing for the mid-court player. So Jay, if you'd go, he didn't know where I was taking him. He does now. So Jay, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at, we just measured his lower chord, it was 153. Now we're going to measure his mid-court. You notice that the shoulder girdle stretch kept you out there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? So I'm measuring down his forearm till that bubble centers, and we have, just relax and we'll do it again. Let me introduce it. Oh, that's a big difference. 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
10-degree difference.
That's the same thing I get done.
Wow. Before it was like 5 to 6 on average, now it's 10. Wow.
That's because of the shoulder girdle stretch. We're going to start over.
Okay.
Now, Jay and I are going to show you sequencing of motion for the mid-court player. Now, Jay has done an exercise that increased his power angle. We're going to show you that. It's from Dr. Betty. We're going to show you how to increase that power angle, especially for low-core players. And it is a game changer. But Jay, we just did low core. You were
153.
53. And it used to be
157.
157. Yeah. So he had some residual in terms of the angle. So I'm going to measure mid-core now. You can see how shallow that is. Jay, would you step out to lower core, please? And show us that angle. Show us that angle again. You can see the difference in how wide this angle is. That's 153, and now go back to, and we're going to now measure, and we got, so he's 10 degrees between his lower and middle cores, 163. This is not a good zone for a middle core player. It'd be tough to, the external shoulder rotation is not going to be in the right position for the trail elbow. We're still going to show you sequencing of motion. So Jay, if you would go ahead and get set. We're looking at 163. The other place you'll see 163, go ahead and add your right hand, is right down. So as Jay sets his power angle here, or sets his shaft lean, I should say, 163 is going to show up there as well. So Jay, if you can, he does a simultaneous set of spine angle and knee flex, take it to the top. Now we're going to take his right arm, stand tall, look straight ahead, and he has set power at the top. That's 163 right here. So I'm going to push up on the butt this time, Jay.
Okay.
So the sequencing for the mid-core is the shoulders begin, but the hips release pretty quickly, like within, say, a foot. They're not going to hang on to them too long. Let's start down. There you go. And that's a lot of power. Jay, this time turn everything back together.
Okay.
I'm going to take your arm at the top. So this is your upper core. I have his wrist. I have your wrist. There you go. And you can see actually you have a little bit of a reversing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And same thing, and I'm going to push up on the butt this time. The other thing you'll find is, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Start down. So I can take him right out. That is an injury waiting to happen, by the way. Jay was talking earlier.
Yeah, my shoulder, I can feel it. If I get into a position where this doesn't match appropriately, I can feel weakness.
Doesn't set your power.
Correct.
Yeah. And so you're going to have to find it in the downswing, or you're headed for a shoulder injury there. So these angles show up throughout the body. Jay, if you would now step out of balance. Well, I'm sorry. Go back and let's. I didn't show the measurement at the top, did I? With the sequencing off.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's show you what happens with the sequencings off at the top. So everything together. Oh yeah.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we showed it again. Okay. you don't.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
So, good setup?
good setup. Tell you what, miss the power spot
Okay.
in one hand.
Okay.
So his power spot for mid-core is right on that knuckle, right on the joint. So everything's going to be good except that power spot. You feel the shaft is dropped?
I also feel my weight come forward.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And if he starts down, he has no power. A lot less power.
A lot less.
Yeah. And this time I'm going to take your right wrist. Same thing, bad power spot. Take your right wrist and let's see what we have. Once again, Jay's not even close. So let's do it correctly one more time, Jay.
Okay.
And so the sequencing, as you're going to see here, Jay starts the club back, hips don't release. So we're really, mid-core is the hybrid. So upper core has a long delay of the hips. This is a very short delay. There you go. And I'll take this, take a look. And now he has set his 163 once again. So that is mid-core. So mid-core sequencing, shoulders, upper core starts back and the hips release. With a wider base than the low core, as you saw in the other video, we're going to have a much longer weight in the lower core before the release occurs, if any at all. Your better players who are flexible to low core look like they don't turn the hips at all. Anything you want to add?
No.
Shoulder
I just need
issue.
to get some ice, but
That shoulder can become an issue.
it
You
can
wanna be
become an
careful.
issue. I highly recommend finding the power spots accordingly with the right stance width.
Yeah, and if, as you saw, if your stance width is off, you're not going to set it over top either. Thank you, Jay.